How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another video. This is video 2. I decided to split this video into 2. We are going to start with Destiny 2 and what seems to be its downfall. There is a bit to go through in this video, so hopefully you'll enjoy it. Don't forget to do the good stuff. Leave a like, subscribe, and if you want to support me further, you can do that from my Patreon, YouTube membership, or the super thanks just under the video. If you want to follow me on my social channels, as I'm trying to build a following over there, all the links in the description below. Thanks so much. Now on with the actual video. We come to this one over here with Paul Tassi. Now this actually highlights a much more damning situation for Sony and its current position with Destiny and Bungie. So Paul Tassi, who's been kind of I'll say double standards here at this point, because one minute he's saying, you know, this is really bad what Bungie's doing, and then he's saying everyone should go play Destiny so we can save their jobs. It's not on us to save developers' jobs. I've already had this discussion on stream and in multiple videos. I'm not going to get into it, but at the end of the day, you know, make a good game and we will play it. If you make a bad game, no one's going to play it. Hey, Gollum, Kong, I think in order to save the developers over there, everyone should be going to play your game. What? You don't agree with that? Yeah, I thought not. Even they don't want you to play it, see? But anyway, he says, was double checking this doc from Reddit, and yeah, in the last 30 days, Destiny 2 has had the lowest peak players and lowest average player count in Steam series history. Starting to get pretty concerned given that they were already at that 45% revenue miss. And if you look over here, when they first started on PC in 2021, they started off with like almost 60,000, which is pretty cool. I mean, I think it started a few months before that, right? But you can see here that it's got a plus 4,000 again, so it probably started just a little before. And you can see here like peak players during that time, but you can see that the average players has started off well. It was going up and then went down, up, down. It got really good during this time because this was the Forsaken time, and then it kind of leveled out and kept that 100 to 150,000. And it was going all well. And then we came to, you know, the run up to Lightfall. Then we had Lightfall. And then things started to go bad. And then it started to drop. And it started to dip. And then they had that resurgence when Joe Blackburn came out to address some things. And it's just continuously dropped. And now you're looking at the average players. And the average players, despite the peak players, outside of Lightfall, when it was really successful with 135,000 players, that was pretty impressive. It's never really hit that height again. 80,000 to 70,000 is still within the expected parameters, considering over here in November 21, that was probably Curse of Osiris. But now it's dropped below Curse of Osiris levels. And Curse of Osiris was regarded as the worst, you know, DLC that Bungie had ever done. Previous to that, it was thought Destiny 1's House of Wolves was the worst. But it's actually getting worse. And as you can see, the reds are just crippling the greens. It's a worrying sign for Bungie because they need the player count, they need the engagement, and it doesn't look like they're finding a way to actually get the player base to return. At the moment, I'm really bored of the game. I haven't played it in probably 2 months now. I do want to actually just finish the story, but even that I'm actually finding as a chore. So I haven't actually been able to go back in, and honestly, it's going to be interesting to see how the new DLC that's coming along with the Witch Queen is actually going to pan out, because this is bad. This is bad. And if these numbers continue to drop, I mean, these could easily drop down to like 20k by next week, because there's no content. It's all rehashed content. And I know there's new, you know, they've advertised the new Witch Queen, well, the Return of the Wish, or whatever it's called, update that's coming, and they're trying to capitalize on the Forspoken era with the 15th Wish. And that's pretty much the only exciting thing that's actually coming from that. And they're releasing a new dungeon, and they're trying to push that, and the content creators are doing their thing. But in the last 30 days, with only 35,000, I know it's the season end, but when you look at all the season ends, nothing was ever that low. Even here, when it got to its worst point, when there was all that controversy, when they announced that the DLC for Lightfall had been delayed by a few months because it was supposed to release between November and December. And there was a lot of discourse at that point because there was no content. It wasn't until December when they brought out the 30th anniversary content to rejuvenate Destiny and bring it back. But it's really bad, and it's continuing to drop. And it does look like Sony's investment is going down the drain with this. And if they don't turn the players around, the final shape may be the final game after all. Okay, so this is for all your Persona fans out there. So Sega targets 5 million sales in debut next year for next numbered Persona title. And it reads, Sega has published the company's quarterly investor Q&A for the Q2 financial results for fiscal year ending in March 2024, which is July, August, and September 2023. The respondents were Sega Sammy's Haruki Atami, Representative Director, President, and Group CEO Koichi Fukasawa, Director, Senior Managing Executive Officer Group, CFO, and the Q&A includes an answer about the future sales potential of the Persona series. Is there a chance that with its overseas popularity, the Persona series could sell 5 million copies in its first year? They responded with, by increasing the number of platforms it is available on and the regions it is released in, we have been increasing the sales of Persona 5. We believe that it would be possible for a major Persona title, i.e. Persona 6, such as a numbered release, Persona 6, to sell 5 million copies in its first year by releasing it on multiple platforms and simultaneously worldwide from day one. They also have high expectations for the new IP Metaphor ReFantazio, which actually looks amazing, by the way. If you like Persona, you probably will like that game too. And it's from the same developers from Persona 5. What does this mean? When they say on multiple platforms simultaneously worldwide, it's a day-and-date release on PlayStation, Xbox, potentially the Switch as well. This could be coming on the Switch 2 rather than the Switch 1 because the Switch 1 is having difficulty now. Maybe even PC as well. So when you combine all of those platforms, PC, PlayStation, Xbox, and the Nintendo Switch 2, I guess, you're looking at the potential, complete multi-plat global market. It's available to everyone. It's not a far stretch to try and hit that 5 million. This is something Square Enix should take note of. If you put your game out on all the platforms, the chances of you hitting those bigger numbers is exponentially higher. But if you release it on one platform, you're just not going to get it. You're limiting yourself to one install base, no matter how big that is. You're still limiting yourself to one install base. Now, even if they release, Final Fantasy 16 got 3 million sales within the first 3 days, and then they lost all their, the sales went down by about 90 to 95%, and it hasn't really recovered. Anyone that wanted to play that game bought it day one, basically. Now, had they released it on PC as well, sure, some of those people like me who got it on PlayStation would have got it on PC, just for the performance bump, right? But that would have been few and far between. But it would have opened up a whole avenue of PC gamers. So let's say, for example, 1 million people bought it on PC. That would have taken their numbers to 4 million. If they released it on the Xbox, let's assume that 1 million bought it there. That would have taken them to 5 million. And then the Switch, I don't think the Switch could probably run it. I think that's a bit too far. But if they actually allowed it, released a streamed version of the game, like some companies have done, like Capcom with their Resident Evil games, Square Enix has done it too with their Kingdom Hearts through streaming, a cloud-based game. If they release it in that form, it may be successful, it may be not, but it would give the community a chance to play it. So assuming another 1 million there, considering they've got 500 million Switches out there, it isn't too difficult to assume that that game would have hit 5-6 million sales, right? Obviously, the biggest platform there would still be the PlayStation, and if PlayStation really wanted to make their version unique and special, they could have done what they always do, right? Like they're doing with Suicide Squad, by adding new skins, exclusive skins and stuff like that. They could have done that as well to try and entice it, just like they did with Hogwarts Legacy, where they had that exclusive 1 year level that people may or may not have even known about. But they decided to make it exclusive, and I think the way Sega is going about this is the right way, and I think it's really, really good. And I hope that, you know, more companies see this, and I really hope Persona 6 is successful. When it hits Xbox, I really would like to see like a nice chunk of people going out and enjoying this game, because Persona is a good franchise. It's a niche franchise, but it's a good franchise. And if we want to see more companies like Sega doing this, then we need to be supporting these games more. It's really that simple. And of course, this one is weird, right? This one. Now we know about the PS Portal, right? We've known about the PS Portal. We know how it's been a ridiculous point in time. But this guy says, I don't care what anybody wants to say. You're not getting gameplay like this on Switch with haptic feedback and adaptive triggers. And so what he's trying to do, right, is compare a remote play device that requires a £500 console plus the £200 console, a handheld. So he's comparing something that's 700 quid to something that's, you know, £250. And then these idiots are laughing at us when we're comparing the Steam Deck, which is £350, to the PlayStation Portal thing, saying, oh, but that's £350 and it's not the same thing, it's not the same price. And then they're comparing a remote play device to a native device. A remote play device to a native device. And so I said, dude, you didn't just compare a native device to a remote play device my £50 tablet can do. I tell you what, show me the graphics without a PS5 connected. If it runs Horizon with a PS5, until then, the Switch will be better. And as you can see, I've got 8 likes. But this is ridiculous, right? I mean, what, that mentality is beyond. What? So they're trying to compare a remote play device. I mean, at this point, you might as well say my mobile phone is better than the Switch because it can remote play my Xbox, or it can it's so. I mean, is this the mentality level that these PS fanboys have actually gotten to? That they are now going to try and compare the PS Portal to a Nintendo Switch? Like, oh, I don't even know what to say anymore. I really don't. You let me know in the comment section below, because this is ridiculous. This is redonkulous. Seriously, this is bad. I mean, they're actually at this level now. They're coping so hard trying to justify their purchase by saying that the PS Portal, Horizon Forbidden West, runs. I mean, they think this is native. I mean, they think this is native. Why would you think this is native? It's a remote play device. Something your mobile phone can do. Anything can do. It's so sad. And sure, the graphics on the Switch aren't amazing, and the frame rate on this might not be as great, but it's a native Switch device that does what it's supposed to do on the tin. I don't know. That's crazy. That is what you call pure cope. Right? You let me know, folks, in the comment section below what you think. This is some crazy stuff. I don't know, man. I don't know. That level of cope is just wow. I can't even fathom my head around that one. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Let's have that discussion, and I'll see you in the next one. Remain legend.